topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
This is Beyond Confidence with your host, Divya Parekh. Do you want to live a more fulfilling life? Do you want to live your legacy and achieve your personal, professional, and financial goals? Well, coming up on Divya Parekh's Beyond Confidence, you will hear real stories of leaders, entrepreneurs, and achievers who have stepped into discomfort, shattered their status quo, and are living the life they want. You will learn how relationships are the key to achieving your aspirations and financial goals. Moving your career or business forward does not have to happen at the expense of your personal or family life, or vice versa. Learn more at www.divyaparekh.com, and you can connect with Divya at contact@divyaparekh.com. This is Beyond Confidence, and now here's your host, Divya Parekh.
Good morning, listeners. It's Tuesday morning, and I'm so thrilled to be here with y'all. So I have a beautiful kindness story for you. So in our neighborhood, we have two beautiful ladies expecting, and so they are, in the heat, it is like really, really hot and all of that. So as I was saying, one of the ladies was walking down the street, and she seemed to, sits very uncomfortable and just kind of waiting. And then one neighbor just brought out a glass of water. So a little bit. And it was just fascinating to see, one little act can go such a long ways. And the smile broke. And as the smile broke, the beauty of that was that human connection goes such a long ways. So basically, that's our story for the kindness story for this week. And another thing I want to share with you is that if you have got our books, thank you for supporting us. And also, I'm excited to share my next book is in works. There have been some tears and some times of joy, but every book that you write is like just having a different baby. So just excited to share. I'm writing a book on artificial intelligence and hoping to finish it off in the next few months. I'll keep you posted. So for those of you who have got our books, please know that, we are very thankful. And for those of you who have not got our books, do get the books and help us spread the kindness. Let's bring in our guest. Hi, Deborah.
Hello, good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me join you, Divya. It's an honor.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you on the show. So, Deborah, share with us, do you recall a moment or a person who infused you with sunshine?
Oh, there's so many people along the way that have done that. But I think making a tribute to my mom, who's 91 years old, 91 years young, would be the sunshine in my life. She's such a support and so proud of me always that it just fills my heart with joy.
And how did she create that impact on you?
Interestingly enough, back in the day when it wasn't as common as it is today for women to start a business, at 26 years old, she started a business. She's a fashion designer, that was her career. And so was my dad. I grew up in a creative home. And she was determined to make this work. My dad was working for a big company. He was a head designer. And she said, if I make this work, when your contract's up, you'll come join me and we'll do it together. And they did. And that's why when you ask about sunshine, to me, that's what sunshine is about, is finding your purpose, your passion, lifting other people up, believing in yourself, that confidence. That's what I love the name of your show, Divya, Live Beyond Confidence. It's all about that, developing resilience. Life is messy. It will never be perfect, but we owe it to ourselves to say yes to our lives. And my parents said yes to their lives, and it's in me to say yes now too. And doing that for your children, for your friends, lifting them up, for all of us is so important. Making time to give yourself a hug and honor yourself and what you want out of life. We can make it happen if we put effort into this.
Love that. Say yes to life.
Yes.
Now, society has different definitions of success. So, and then, as a child grows up, parents are teaching the child something, then teachers, then friends, and what they observe, and the heroes, movies. And, there's such a different layer upon layer that is being developed for this child, and they develop their lens through that. So, how can they find what is their yes? What are they going to say yes to?
And it's really different for each of us because everybody defines success in different ways. I define success as waking up in the morning and finding my happy. Yes, that stress, the cortisol spike that happens naturally, we have to work against that. And that to me is success, just enjoying my life and going after the dreams and the goals that I cherish the most, that's in my heart. And I always encourage people for their children is most importantly confidence, giving them the confidence to believe in themselves, to make mistakes. It's okay. I don't like the word failure. I've renamed it education and growth, and letting your children know that falling down is the way you're going to achieve what it is in your heart, and building them up and helping them along, not enabling them, not doing it for them, but letting them find themselves, who they are, find their sunshine. And I think that's so important, Divya.
You're absolutely right. So, Deborah, you have two great role models where your parents said yes to life. So, my question to you is, what did you say yes to life? And tell us a little bit more about your life journey.
Okay, sure will do. Because I think it's a lesson in not letting yourself shrink, disappear, get caught up in the nonsense. There's so many things we can get caught up in, the worry, the fear, the negativity. And the reason I say this is that for a while, striving to be a number one sales rep, I've always wanted to be at my best, not compete with other people, but do my best. And with that, I sometimes lost myself. I lost the joy in life because I was always chasing my tail, so to speak, that hamster wheel. So there I was standing on a New York City subway platform. I was very emotional because I was on this hamster wheel, striving to be number one, negativity, the excuses, all the things, and not enjoying my life. And it hit me. And it's such a simple thing. People would say, well, there's nothing to that. But honestly, I said to myself, nothing will change unless I change. And I urge everybody to find your balance, not overwhelm yourself and have to do everything all at once, but slowly, small steps lead to big changes over time. So I took the time to find more balance in my life so that I could say yes, not just to accomplishments and to career success, but say yes to living my life, enjoying, traveling, meeting new people, spending time having an enjoyable dinner with a friend. And there's so much more to life and to ourselves and being just a well-rounded person, exercising, sleeping well, eating healthily, all the things that make us feel better. Because when we feel better, the saying goes, you do better. So I have come back. I have found my luster again, my sparkle, and I help other people do that. But I also encourage people to take a step back, to pause, to give yourself the grace to welcome your true self and enjoy life more, because we are the ones that can do that for ourselves. And it's easy to say that that's trite and to put it off and to get caught up in the negativity. But as I say, negativity and positivity are contagious. Each are contagious. It's our choice to pick which one we want to embrace. And I choose positive energy and spreading it around and lifting other people up and enjoying the moment, saying yes to being present in the moment, talking with you. It's just a joy. You feel it in your heart. It just makes you feel so much better.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. So did you go back to the sales job? What did you do? Because I'm
So,
sure a lot of our listeners are listening and saying, like, yeah, Deborah, what you're saying makes sense.
but,
And still want to know, like, how did you apply to your real life?
and for everybody, I understand you can't necessarily just leave a job. And I didn't. I worked on changing, making adjustments, but eventually I did because I had a bigger purpose that I felt I needed to, and I was able to do that. I worked on it and but what we do is we have choices. You hear about side hustles and making time. There's always time. If you can't leave a job because it provides for yourself, for your family, honestly, don't shortchange yourself. Find the time. I get up super early. Find the time in the day to start making a plan, to work on it, because honestly, who is it for? It's for you. So, what I did is I started writing what was my guidebook, all the things I needed to do to get back to bring my sparkle back, to say yes to a bigger life, a bigger version of myself. And I started to write down commitments, quotes, questions I needed to ask myself. I did a lot of research, the science behind why we act a certain way, and tips, action items, mantras, all that stuff. It turned, as you know, into my book, 6 Steps to Fewer Days That Suck. But I started that initially for myself. And everybody can find the time if they choose to. Everything is a choice. And we have the choice to spend our time the way we choose our downtime, so to speak. And yes, we have commitments, we have families, we have jobs, we have everything. But if it's important enough to you, you will make the time, because rather than fretting about it, procrastinating, worrying, thinking, just sit down and do it. Because, like anything, the more we do something, it's a positive habit that I'm suggesting. And the more you do it, because our brains love patterns, the more it becomes a pattern, the more you're prone to do it. And that's the way to get started. Small steps lead to big changes over time. So the wonderful part about doing that, Divya, and I think you'll agree, is when we start to see those accomplishments, put a note up on your fridge, on a mirror. Give yourself a gold star. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate these moments. That gives you the courage to keep going. See what you can accomplish, even in the downtime, the times early in the morning or late at night, or whenever you can find time to work on your goals, on your dreams. And then maybe one day you'll be able to leave that job, or maybe not, but still you'll have this that's part of you to look forward to. And that's what I did. And now I'm proud to say I do this full time, and it's my joy. But again, it's a choice, and it takes discipline, and it takes effort. And that's what we need to do in order to accomplish our goals and to feel good about ourselves.
Yeah, definitely. So tell us, you talk about decluttering the toxic thoughts. How can people go about that?
Say that one more time, Divya.
Yeah, so a lot of people experience toxic thoughts. Oh, you cannot do this. You
Oh,
cannot make this choice. The inner critic, whatever we want to call it,
yes.
saboteurs. How can people get rid of those?
And again, I call that flipping the script, because we all have these thoughts. It's our brain, just our mind, just coming up with these thoughts, and they're not always based in reality. So the best thing to do is pause and stop yourself from going down the rabbit hole. But if you get a negative thought, it's like saying, I'm so stupid, or I messed up again. Flip it to say something like, I love learning something new. I'll make that work. Find a way to turn off the negative thought and flip it into something more positive. And as I said, the brain loves patterns. The more we do something like that, the more we get used to it, the more we get comfortable with it, the more it becomes a habit. And yes, you might say it's easy for me to say, but honestly, I was there. I totally get it. And I chose, again, a choice, to look at things with a more positive spin, to flip that script and make it more positive, because it's easy to go down a rabbit hole. And one of my favorite statistics is this and it's a Penn State study. Researchers found at Penn State, their study participants, 91% of what they worried about never happened. Okay. So we are worrying, we are being negative, we're going down rabbit holes. And what are the chances it's going to happen? 9%? Maybe. So it's time to take a pause before allowing ourselves to do it and flip the script, because who is this for? It's for us. It's for you. It's not for somebody else. You owe it to yourself to enjoy more, worry less, and just make life a little easier. You can do it. We can do it. Absolutely. It's overcoming that negativity bias that our brains like to or favor negative events, negative information over positive, which goes back to the early humans. But we're not in that situation now. We can choose to flip our script, to change our thoughts, to adjust, to reshape our thoughts and reframe our perspective. That's really what it's about. It's so simple. I'm a simple person. I look for simple. I try not to complicate things at all. And it works. It really does. This is not an act. This is me. I choose to feel good, not every moment of the day. You can't be happy every second, but I mean, you can, but I mean, life happens. People die, things happen, but it's how we react to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about your book.
Oh, sure. Divya, as you know, because you've seen it, looked through it, read it, it's not a chapter book. What I wanted to do, because as I said, I wrote, it was really written for me as my guidebook. All the things that get human beings down: excuses, procrastination, negativity, circular thinking, all of that. And each topic is on a double page. And with that, I start with a title like Walk Away from Negativity. And then there's a quote, there's the commitment to yourself. I try to keep it very positive and upbeat, like a warm hug, but practical. This is not Pollyanna. I ask questions, the questions that bothered me, that I wanted answers to. I give strategies, solutions, a lot based on science, but simple science, because again, I keep things simple. I have a mantra that you can say. Of course, create your own, be creative, that works for you. Have tips, I have action items, and even a little story about different people, whether well-known people that I don't know or people that even that I know, and how they overcame whatever the topic of the double page is. It's to inspire you. Little sound bites, words that you could say to yourself, like revision is a decision, or I bring the positive energy today. Simple, simple things. And it's just from the people that read it. And I read the reviews of the book. It published mid-May. But interestingly enough, Divya, and I feel so good about this, is that people are starting to give it to their children after they read it, to their teens, to read it, to overcome all the things, to have fewer days that suck, because it's 6 steps to fewer days that suck. And that at the end of each step, 8 double pages per step, then a summary page, and then a line page for your aha moments. And I'm just honored that people are giving it to their teens and their kids to read, because I believe when we develop confidence, resilience, when we look at things more positively and we develop this younger in life, life is so much simpler. And when you have the confidence, the resilience, when you believe in yourself, chances are you're going to be a kinder person. And you'll be kind to yourself, because when we're kind to ourselves, it's more likely we're going to be kind to other people. And man, this world needs more kindness. So I'm like really excited about that as well, that it's a generational kind of book for adults and also for the tweens and teens.
Oh, fantastic. So tell us, what are the double pages?
So it's just double pages of everything, all the things we struggle with. Like I mentioned, no more excuses, walk away from negativity, fear limits outcome, perfection prevents progress. It's all of those things that get in our way and stop us from saying yes and really living our life. But it's practical, because as you know, Divya, we chatted, I am not about forcing positivity. It's not toxic positivity, I promise you. It's all about approaching life differently, flipping that script so that
So
we
what
can.
are, yeah, right, flipping the script, reframing. So what are a couple of the practical steps that you can share with our audience?
Practical steps is, and I mentioned this before going down a rabbit hole, because anger, it got in my way. Something like anger is before reacting.
Take a
before
pause.
letting the frustration take over is to pause, to breathe. I know it sounds trite, but honestly, if you don't react right away and you think about it first and you stop yourself and you bring some calm into the moment, you deal with it so much better. You're not hot-headed, and you can actually think calmly about a possible solution. It's all about problem solving and not making ourselves anxious or stressed. So that's one of the things that I talk about, is those kind of strategies. I also talk about being around toxic, whether it's people, situations, and sometimes, yes, we have that in our lives, but it's how we choose to deal with it and to
Mhm.
be able to limit that person in our lives or that situation, to rework it, to deal with it in a better way so that it doesn't make us feel badly, because it's all about other people's agendas or other people's issues. We can't make other people's problems ours. I'm not saying don't be empathetic. Never. I would never say that. Or no, don't be nice to people. But I'm saying that we have to protect our dignity and honor our value. And we can't let other people stop us from doing that. And that's all about confidence and everything that you share, Divya, in all the guests that you have. It's all about that. So those are some things that I talk about, but it's of course so much more. And
Absolutely.
it's just helping us, and it was helping me value myself, to add that self-worth, that confidence. I love your show
Mhm.
name, Live Beyond Confidence. It's all about that. You're like my role model too.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, where can people find your book and where can they connect with you?
Oh, thank you. That's so nice for you to ask. So my book is on Amazon, 6 Steps to Fewer Days That Suck. It's there. And I would love if you'd pick it up, write a kind review. It's also on other platforms as well. It's an ebook, it's a paperback and a right now and a hardcover. It will be an audiobook soon. And my website, where you could find and connect with me, is the Daily Decisions with an S.com. And if you go to the Daily Decisions.com/inspire, you can join my positive energy club. It's complimentary, free, and you can get bi-weekly newsletters, just little things that we could do just to feel better, and download my happiness and motivation worksheets and my feel good simple activities to make us feel good, because it's really all about that, right, Divya? Is finding the way that we could say yes, not just to our work life, but to our entire life, to be present when we're with our families, when we're with our friends, not to be worrying and stuck in negative thoughts, but to enjoy more, worry less, and make life just that much more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. And thank you, listeners, for being part of our show. Let us know how we can support you to live the best life you deserve. And thank you, Juan, for making the show technically possible.
Thank you for being part of Beyond Confidence with your host, Divya Parekh. We hope you have learned more about how to start living the life you want. Each week on Beyond Confidence, you hear stories of real people who have experienced growth by overcoming their fears and building meaningful relationships. During Beyond Confidence, Divya Parekh shares what happened to her when she stepped out of her comfort zone to work directly with people across the globe. She not only coaches people how to form heart connections, but also transform relationships to mutually beneficial partnerships as they strive to live the life they want. If you are ready to live the life you want and leverage your strengths, learn more at www.divyaparekh.com. And you can connect with Divya at contact@divyaparekh.com. We look forward to you joining us next week.